Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Perkenalkan, nama saya Rina Astuti Purnamaninggolan. Saya adalah dosen di Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Universitas Sanata Dharma, Yogyakarta. Dalam bidang pengajaran, saya mengampu beberapa mata kuliah kebahasaan, di antaranya vocabulary, listening, dan speaking. Dan juga saya mengajar mata kuliah non-kebahasaan seperti Statistics in ELT, Micro Teaching, dan Service Program Design. Dalam video ini, saya akan menjelaskan salah satu mata kuliah yang saya ampu di semester gasal 2021-2022, yaitu Advanced Listening and Speaking. Mata kuliah ini memiliki bobot 4 SKS dan dibagi menjadi 2 pertemuan per minggu, masing-masing pertemuan sebanyak 2 JP. Saya memilih mata kuliah ini sebagai unjuk kinerja bidang pengajaran karena mata kuliah ini beririsan dengan topik dan minat penelitian saya, yaitu pengembangan pengajaran keterampilan bahasa Inggris lisan dan juga critical thinking skills yang merupakan salah satu kemampuan utama di abad 21. Saya akan terlebih dahulu menjelaskan deskripsi mata kuliah ALS. Advanced Listening and Speaking atau ALS adalah mata kuliah yang berfokus pada gabungan keterampilan berbahasa Inggris lisan, yaitu menyimak dan berbicara dengan tingkat kesulitan upper intermediate sampai advanced, atau setara dengan level B2 sampai C1 pada skala CEFR. Dalam mata kuliah ini, mahasiswa dilatih untuk mengembangkan keterampilan menyimak dan berbicara yang dipadukan dengan keterampilan berpikir kritis. Dengan menggunakan pendekatan problem-based dan task-based learning, kegiatan belajar dalam mata kuliah ALS antara lain diskusi kelas maupun kelompok, storytelling, menyampaikan pidato singkat, debat, dan presentasi. Teks-teks yang digunakan sebagai materi perkuliahan mencakup isu-isu terkait pendidikan, sosial budaya, dan lingkungan. Selain itu, mahasiswa juga diajak untuk menguasai topik-topik terkait lifelong learning dan self-education, antara lain the growth mindset dan kewirausahaan. Di akhir perkuliahan, mahasiswa diharapkan untuk dapat mencapai 3 CPMK, yaitu pertama, mahasiswa dapat menunjukkan pemahaman terhadap teks-teks lisan dengan tingkat kesulitan lanjut melalui tulisan-tulisan reflektif di jurnal maupun secara lisan menggunakan bahasa Inggris yang baik dan benar. Kedua, mahasiswa dapat menganalisis, membandingkan, dan mensintesakan informasi dari berbagai sumber teks lisan secara kritis. Yang ketiga, mahasiswa dapat menyampaikan argumen dan respon kritis terhadap berbagai genre teks lisan yang terkait dengan topik lifelong learning dan self-education melalui kegiatan pidato dan presentasi individual maupun berkelompok menggunakan bahasa Inggris lisan yang baik dan benar. Ada 6 materi pembelajaran yang pokok dalam kegiatan ALS. Pertama adalah educational stories. Kedua, social environmental stories. Ketiga, educational issues and answers. Keempat, social environmental issues and answers. Kelima, the growth mindset. Dan keenam, entrepreneurship. Untuk mempelajari materi-materi tersebut, ada beberapa strategi yang dipelajari dan dipraktekkan di dalam mata kuliah ALS, yaitu critical listening, comparing and contrasting, synthesizing and developing arguments, dan developing and presenting arguments. Ada 3 tugas utama yang perlu dikerjakan oleh mahasiswa, yaitu individual speech, debate performance, dan presentation. Karena di semester gasal 2021-2022, perkuliahan masih dilaksanakan dalam moda daring, maka kegiatan perkuliahan difasilitasi dengan aplikasi Zoom untuk pertemuan sinkronus. Sedangkan untuk kegiatan asinkronus disampaikan melalui LMS yang berbasis Moodle dengan alamat URL belajar.usd.ac.id. Pendekatan yang digunakan dalam mata kuliah ini adalah problem-based learning yang dikombinasikan dengan task-based learning, di mana fokusnya adalah peningkatan communicative skills melalui diskusi atas permasalahan-permasalahan yang diangkat dari topik atau materi. Kegiatan menyimak atau listening biasanya dilakukan secara mandiri oleh mahasiswa sebelum masuk ke kelas. Saat pertemuan di kelas, mahasiswa lebih banyak melakukan latihan berbahasa Inggris lisan melalui kegiatan conversation dan discussion sebagai salah satu tindak lanjut dari kegiatan menyimak yang telah mereka lakukan. Di dalam kegiatan diskusi, dosen memberikan pertanyaan-pertanyaan berbasis masalah, sehingga mahasiswa terpacu untuk berdiskusi lebih lanjut untuk mencari tahu lebih dalam tentang permasalahan tertentu dan menemukan solusi atas permasalahan tersebut. Mahasiswa juga mendapat banyak kesempatan untuk mengasah kemampuan berpikir kritis dan juga kemampuan berpikir tingkat tinggi karena mereka didorong untuk menyampaikan argumen mereka disertai dengan landasan berpikir yang dapat dipertanggungjawabkan. Dalam waktu yang bersamaan, mahasiswa juga sekaligus mempraktikkan keterampilan berbahasa Inggris lisan saat mereka berusaha mengkomunikasikan respon maupun argumennya terhadap suatu permasalahan. Berikut sistem penilaian di mata kuliah ALS. Ada 6 komponen penilaian. Yang pertama adalah tugas 1 dengan bobot penilaian 15%. Tugas 2 dengan bobot 10%. Progres tes 1 dengan bobot 20%. Progres tes 2 dengan bobot 20%, ujian akhir semester dengan bobot 25%, dan kehadiran dan partisipasi dengan bobot nilai 10%, sehingga total nilai 100%. Untuk memberikan gambaran yang lebih konkret mengenai mata kuliah ALS, berikut saya tampilkan cuplikan dari kegiatan perkuliahan. Hello everyone, good morning.
Good
Morning,
morning,
Miss.
Miss.
Good morning, Miss.
How are you guys?
I'm great, Miss.
Miss.
Thank you.
Good, Miss.
Have you taken a bath?
Not yet, Miss.
Some of you look really glowing. Some others don't really look glowing because of maybe it's the problem of your lighting, yeah? I'm sure that everybody here is ready for today's class, aren't you?
Yes, Miss.
Yes,
Very
Miss.
good. Right. So, we met on Monday, right? So today is Thursday, yes. So our classes are on Monday and Thursday. So do you still remember what we did on Monday? So I gave you one assignment, yeah. What is the assignment about? I'll give you a clue, okay? So I gave you a video material and this man is talking, giving you some speech there. What's his name? Anyone?
Guzman.
Roberto
Guzman.
Yes. Good. So it means you have watched it. Have you guys watched it?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So what's the title of the video,
Yes,
Mario? What is the
teaching
title of the
English
video?
without teaching English.
Teaching English without teaching English. Oh, can somebody teach English without teaching English? I think the title is very unique. Yeah. Do you think the title is unique, Rachel?
Yes, Miss. Because it's catchy.
Oh, it's a catchy title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you, Eva, what came to your mind when you read the title, Teaching English Without Teaching English? What did you think
He will
for
be
watching?
presenting about something unique while teaching English, but when I watched the video, he only present about how he teach normally.
Okay. All right. Okay, so he doesn't use the conventional learning method, right? Right. Let's talk about how he does his teaching. How does he teach English? Does anyone want to answer this? Because he claims that he teaches English without teaching English. Can anyone explain? Okay, Andu, yes, please.
So Roberto Guzman is teaching English, actually without teaching English, because he's moved away from the grammar or the technical language of the English. So he, first thing first, he used BS detector, or whenever they detect BS alarm of BS critical. Why he used that? Because um, Roberto Guzman's pupils can write English in paper really good, but they have the deer in lightning and porky syndrome whenever Roberto Guzman speak English to them. It's so they are good at writing, but they're not good at speaking English. So instead of using grammar or the conventional learning method, Roberto Guzman using three stages of learning. I'm sorry, I forgot the first step, but the second part is detect logical fallacies or detect false or error in reasoning process, and then ad hominem, and then so on and so forth. And then the third is
Wow.
identifying level of recognitions. He used not using conventional textbooks, but use something like watching YouTube, TED Talks, and so on and so forth. He also make his students aware of current event like Syrian refugees, Puerto Rico economic crisis sources, and then pulling the red thread between two things or two ideas so that they can think critically or critical thinking skill. Thank you, Miss.
Right. Wow, your answer is, I think, very comprehensive. Yeah, let's give applause to Andu, everyone. Unfortunately, do you have a problem with your connection? Because you didn't turn on your camera, so maybe your signal is poor or something. Yeah, it's okay, Andu, okay? But your answers are remarkable. I think these points are answered by Andu using his words, yeah? That is true that Roberto Guzman moves away from grammar. He doesn't teach based on sentence structure, but he wants his students to speak naturally, talking about recent issues in their country, and then they learn from authentic texts instead of from textbooks, and using authentic communication, yeah? Then and finally, students can learn from mistakes they make. Okay, are you guys afraid of making mistakes when practicing speaking?
Yes, sometimes, Miss.
Yes,
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I think almost all students feel hesitant, feel afraid sometimes, yeah, of making mistakes. But you know what? Without making mistakes, we will not learn. So that's okay. Yeah, feel free to speak because this is advanced listening and speaking, right? So let's move on to the second question, still about Roberto Guzman's speech. Why does he teach English like that? I think what is it? Indirectly, Andu has answered this question too, but I want somebody, maybe Kevin, can you explain to us specifically why Roberto Guzman teaches English like that?
Yes, ma'am. The reason why he teach English like this is just like Andu said, because his student can do really good on the paper, but when they're asked directly, they couldn't answer it properly. Like they started to do the Porky syndrome when they start and then he also noticed that if the student cannot use the language properly, then when they went to the work environment where they are required or expected to have a higher level of cognition, they where they are expected to analyze, synthesize, and evaluate, the student might not be able to do that. So that's why he chose to do this kind of teaching method rather than using or focusing more on the grammar on only on the paper result.
Okay, nice answer. You even mentioned the three, what is it, higher order thinking skills that he mentioned, yeah? Analyze, synthesize, and evaluate. And that's true. One day when you graduate from university in the working world, having the hard skills are not enough, okay? So you need to have the soft skills like communication skills. That's why learning about the language will be not as useful as when you are able to really use it in real communication contexts, yeah? Okay, thank you, Kevin, for the wonderful answer. And what about this? Who wants to answer the next question? What are the characteristics of critical thinkers? So you can evaluate yourself too. Am I a critical thinker? Do I fulfill these criteria? Hannah, do you want to answer this one?
Oh, I will try, Miss. So
Mhm.
as long as I understand the characteristics of critical thinkers is someone who is always questioning something, Miss.
Okay. Are
Always
you
questioning and
one
giving
of them?
comments on something. Maybe sometimes yes, sometimes no. Depend, Miss.
Okay, and what's next?
That's all from me. Maybe other friends can add more.
Okay, thank you, Han. Who wants to add Hannah's answer? Maybe Rachel?
Maybe they are able to express express their argument and give their arguments with evidence.
Okay,
And
very good. So the other one is able to detect logical fallacies. Yeah, I think Handu and Kevin have mentioned about this. Yeah, logical fallacies, wrong reasoning. Yeah, it's like the example given by Roberto Guzman, where you think that it's raining because you don't bring the umbrella. Yeah, like every time I don't bring the umbrella, it rains. Why? So it becomes your belief, but actually that's not the case, right? That's what we call as logical fallacies. Yeah. So when you have a good critical thinking skill, you can detect this wrong reasoning. Okay, why are we talking about the critical thinking side of Roberto Guzman's speech, guys? Why do you think I gave you this video instead of other videos? Does anyone know? Maybe Inoy?
I think because critical thinking skills is required to all of us as students and becoming a teacher in the future. So we need to be critical on something we hear or see, we read or listen, everything, because sometimes there are some hoax that can make damage, a lot of damage, as the Roberto said before. I forgot what he said, but maybe like something un unquestionable. I forget this, but it's like that. Yeah. That's enough, Miss.
So in this course, in ALS, you guys are also required to be able to do critical listening. Yeah, that is why I gave you that video about teaching English, but giving emphasis not on the language element only. Well, language is important. I mean, the grammatical accuracy is important. The pronunciation accuracy is important, but it will not be complete without our ability to integrate our critical thinking into the skills, the language skills. Okay, so now I want us to brainstorm together. Yeah, we're going to talk about critical listening. This is about integrating your critical thinking skill into your listening activities, because in this course you will do a lot of listening, right? So when you hear the phrase critical listening, what comes to your mind, guys? Maybe write down your opinion on this, answering this, by going to the Jamboard link that I've provided in the chat box. Have you been able to go to the Jamboard, guys?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, good. Now in the Jamboard, you need to write, well, maybe 1 or 2 sentences to answer this question using your own opinion, okay? What is critical listening? Maybe you want to use the sticky note. Feel free to take a sticky note there, and then, yeah, I think, blah, 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 blah. So, and maybe it's good if you can write your name there. Have you got the link?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
Yes, Miss.
All right. One answer is already here. Whose answer is this? Maybe you can write your name. Do you guys have any difficulties?
No, Miss.
Okay. Oh, so the yellow one turns out to be Hannah's. Hannah thinks that critical listening is when we evaluate the information we got, not only understand it, but we can analyze and evaluate it. Okay. What is to evaluate, actually?
I
Hannah,
don't know, Miss.
what do you understand about to evaluate something?
Like, I give you an example, yeah, Miss. Sometimes we got an information, and for someone who doesn't have like critical skill, they will directly like action like apa ya, in Indonesia termakan hoax, something like that, Miss. But if we have like critical thinking skill, we can evaluate it like to make sure whether the information is correct or not, like that it is a fact or only a hoax or something like that. I don't know how to explain this.
Good. Maybe I will wait for 1 more minute for the answers to come, yeah? Okay, so some answers have been here. By the way, it now is too big. Okay, so nice answers, everyone, and they're very colorful too. Critical listening is the process of understanding and evaluating what we hear. Kevin, okay, good. So you try to relate the critical thinking aspect with the listening aspect, yeah? Mario answered, in his opinion, critical thinking is when we receive information that we hear and we can't just approve a piece of information without a clear sentence, without any strong evidence. Wow, I think your answer is superb. But maybe there's a typo, not maybe critical listening, not critical thinking. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Very nice answers. So we were here, right? What is critical listening? And I think you guys could answer it really well. So here is what it really is about. Yeah. So critical listening is the activity to listen using careful, systematic thinking and reasoning. Remember about logical fallacy? So it's about the not the wrong reasoning, but the right reasoning, yeah, to see whether a message makes sense in light of factual evidence, yeah. So it's really true when Kevin says, yeah, we need to prove some information is true or not using the evidence, okay? But what happens if a listener is not critical enough? What do you think can happen when a listener is not critical enough? Well, maybe they will be persuaded by illogical arguments, ya. I think Hana mentioned, oh nanti kita gampang ke apa? Terprovokasi or terjebak dalam informasi yang salah, ya. So you will be persuaded by illogical arguments based on opinions and not facts. So how to do it? First, you recognize the difference between facts and opinions. Now, this is the tricky part, yeah. It's a bit difficult for some people because it's not always easy, yeah, to distinguish between facts or opinion. There are some characteristics that can help you distinguish between facts versus opinion, yeah. Facts are verified by clear, unambiguous evidence. Meanwhile, opinions are only assumptions, baru sekedar asumsi, ya, and they are not supported by evidence, ya. So evidence is very important here. And another thing is that facts are something you have to accept. Right. What about opinions? Opinions are usually subjective or personal, yeah? And you may agree or disagree with someone's opinion. Another thing is that facts can be tested, okay? Empirically, facts can be tested. Bisa dicek kebenarannya gitu ya, fact. Meanwhile, opinions cannot be tested in the present. Okay, so hopefully these hints can help you to distinguish between facts and opinions. Be careful, yeah? And then the next way to, to do critical listening is to be open to new ideas, okay? And also to relate new ideas to old ones, to what we have already known before. And you know what? Taking notes, even though it's something conventional and maybe boring for some of you, yeah, to take notes, but it helps you to evaluate information, okay? So besides listening critically, you are also expected to speak critically in this class. Now, before you do that, you need to be able to answer these questions first. What is critical listening and how to speak critically? Please keep your answer. If you have the answer now, you can keep it in your mind first for now. And you can share your thoughts in the LMS discussion activity. Okay. Have you been able to access our LMS, guys?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Yes,
Miss.
Okay, good. You can find the discussion activity under week 1, yeah? Please let me know if you have problems in finding the link of discussion activity. Okay, any questions, everyone?
I think not yet, Miss.
No, Miss.
No, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
No questions. Okay, so I think everything is clear. Good. I will read your discussions in the LMS and then I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Monday, everyone. Thank you so much. See you on Monday. Stay healthy, stay happy, guys.
Thank you so much. Miss.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Miss.
Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Demikian pemaparan saya terkait unjuk kinerja bidang pengajaran. Semoga bermanfaat dan dapat diterima dengan baik.